Here we are. I have to admit, I'm a bit disheveled, a little tired, a little frazzled. Been working all weekend. It's been a busy weekend at the restaurant. We had a crazy Friday night. We were there late, and then I did our video, and I was up late. And then I got up early and went to the store and baked most of the day until work because we had a snack party. It was my boss's birthday. And then we had another busy night. And then I was up late last night doing our secret sermon and getting it uploaded. And then I wanted to sleep a little later this morning, but my body just woke me up. I couldn't sleep past a certain time. So I'm running on not enough sleep. My hair is crazy. I have like a stain on the boob of my shirt. Just staying under frame. I'm losing it. There was a film crew that came in tonight, and I had to run their beef tartare to the table. It was like their appetizer, and they got 2 of them, and I ended up like mixing the tartare for them tableside. And I happened to hear them say like, well, that's a wrap. And I was like, oh, are you guys a film crew? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, I used to work in film for like 12 years. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, just until recently. And I started working here. I was like, I used to be a gaffer and a key grip and a best boy and all those manly, like burly Halls jobs. And they're like, whoa, that's so crazy. And they're like, do you like working here? And I'm like, yeah, I work for a couple hours a night. I make department money. And then I can do whatever I want all day, every day. Like, yeah, I love it. But at the end of the weekend, I do look like this. But that's okay, because at the end of every day on film set, I used to look like this. Usually halfway through, maybe just after load-in. So I feel good. I'm happy. I'm just tired. But we're here for our Oracle forecast for the week, tuning into the energy to see what we can expect as far as, you know, themes that we'll be working with in our continued spiritual education. And yeah, just looking for ways we can, you know, embody our new self, this new level, really expand into our potential and a higher state of consciousness, and hopefully as a result it will provide more ease and harmony in our lives. And we want to try to overcome our shortcomings, which is ego. What's weighing on your mind? What thoughts are sort of like eating at you in your head this week? We are still in this period leading up to Rosh Hashanah. It's a 7-week period. I think we're probably at like the 5-week point now. But during this time, we are being tested on the various levels of our soul. So each level of the soul, or like a level of the soul, is tested per day. So a different level of the soul is tested on a different day during these 7 weeks. And that happens so that we can go back and finish out and complete any lessons that we haven't completed yet, or maybe go deeper in a cycle that we've kind of seen come around before, or handle something differently that we may have not handled the way we would have liked to before, or maybe something was like, maybe we considered it a fail, or like we wish that we could have another chance at it. So any incomplete lessons, any lessons that we would typically call a failure, but they're not, or anything that we needed to go deeper in, these themes are going to circle back around. So obviously your ego is going to be triggered this week. So watch out. You know, I was frazzled and tired tonight, and I wanted to snap and like throw a fit, lay down on the floor and scream. It was very tempting not to, and I almost did, I'm sure. But if you can, try to stay vigilant so that you don't blow a fuse and sort of set yourself back, right? Once things are said, they can't be unsaid. You know, once you do things and take actions and you're reactive, you can't kind of like rewind and take it back. It's out there. So slow down, give yourself permission to take a beat and take a breath before you answer. You know, don't be reactive. Try to restrict the urge to be reflexive and react, and try to, you know, either anesthetize the discomfort, or try to put a big band-aid on a situation. Maybe things need to play out, and like maybe you need to see how they're unfolding, right? And you don't need to jump too soon to make take an action, or draw a conclusion, or make a decision, right? Maybe other things need to unfold. So give yourself the time and the space to choose with your free will and not by reflex. So pay attention also this week as you're try to become the observer who can observe what's happening without judging things, and try to observe your emotions inside without judging them. Try to observe your own thoughts without judging them. But also, as you're watching and observing others, try not to judge them. And if you can watch them in that like neutral state, in a very detached sense, then it might help you have more compassion for them and understand them better, and understand if they're triggering you, what is it about them that's triggering you? Is it bringing up an old memory, or a familiar story that reminds you of an experience from the past? Is it playing on an insecurity, right? Are they exhibiting something in them that you believe is possible for you, but you've been sort of like putting that part of yourself, in the shadow, because you don't feel like, you can step into those shoes, or, it's not going to work for you or whatever. So just think about that. A lot of times when we're envious or jealous of someone, it's because they're showing us something that's really possible for us, and we're just like upset that we haven't gotten there yet, right? So, and then a lot of times when someone makes us irritated or angry, they're really mirroring back something that is actually true inside of us as well, but we have also not embraced that part of us, or we have tried to disown it or bury it or hide it, but it's still there, and it still wants to be accepted and seen. So the ego is uncomfortable, but it's a very good teacher. So just slow down, and if you can pause and not react, then you can stop the ego's effects before they exit your body, right? You can observe what the ego is trying to do on the inside without it playing out in the outside, right? So try to maintain self-control this week. What else do we need to know? Ooh, connecting with God. That is going to help us definitely heal the ego, right? We're not ever trying to kill the ego. We want to tell the ego, hey, look, there's a place for you. I need you to be healthy, because I need to be assertive in this life. I need to have enough self-worth to go out there and believe that I have something to share. It's funny about the ego. There's actually, so someone with an ego that gives them a sense of grandeur and grandiosity, and maybe they have sort of a superiority complex. This is actually a more helpful ego than someone who has the inferiority complex, or the person that's trying to be so super meek and like, placate to people, right? Because at least the person with the super ego gets the shit done. They get out in the world and they're like, I have something important to say, and I need to make a difference, and I've got to get this done, and everybody get out of my way because this is important, right? At least that gets the job done. If you're just like shrinking away and being meek and mild, and, trying not to be a big bad person who's getting in the way of everybody, what are you accomplishing doing that, right? By staying so small. Like, who are you, why are you doing that? Who are you accommodating, and why? Why do they need you small, and why don't you deserve to take up the space that you take up, right? So watch the ego this week. Connect on a daily basis, if you can, twice a day. I like to just keep connecting throughout the day in short moments of reflection or prayer, or just allowing myself to like think about something, or connect to the fact that like everything, like we rarely give ourselves a chance during the day to just think about all the things that have been going right, things that have worked out, things that have played out well, in ways we've been blessed. And if we can focus on those things, we start to really feel how held and taken care of, and how watched over and protected we are, actually. And it gives you a sense that you're not alone, but you have to connect with it, right? This divine energy, the source, is permeating the very essence of our being. It's in the air we breathe. It's in the light that shines on us from the sun. It's in the light that gives us that animation of life from within. So God, the energy of source, is always there to connect to, but it's us that blocks ourselves off from it because we get focused on, all of the comings and goings of keeping up with the material life. I mean, there's a lot to just constantly do. That's why we bring our practice to our mundane, lives. That's why we don't just put it off until Sunday when we go to church, right? Oh, well, what if we're busy that week? Then once weeks gone by and we haven't connected to some, to our divine source, our heavenly, I don't like to say father, mother. I mean, it's so abstract. That's why I like to say source and divine, because it's so much more than the little ideas that our minds can grasp around, those archetypal figures. But yeah, so source is always there, giving to us, taking care of us, sending us love, support, connection, guidance. It's just that we get distracted, we get running around in different directions, and we don't prioritize. And so if you think about bringing that practice with you in each moment of the day, just having a walking, living awareness of your connection with source all the time. You can be emptying the dishwasher and praying for your day, unloading something off of your chest that's been weighing on you, if you're having a problem, if you need guidance about something, speak it out loud, do it while you're driving, while you're in the shower, right? Connect throughout the day. I thought about earlier, I was like, I wonder what would happen if I took just one day as an experiment and set an alarm and once an hour actually meditated 10 or 20 minutes, once an hour all day for just for one day, to see what that would do. I mean, it's amazing just after one meditation, right? You feel so much better. I've been in the middle of a panic attack before, and over very scary, very real, problems. And, after I connected in that meditation, I was able to calm down and remember that I've never been left out in the cold, that God has always taken care of me, that I have always been guided, even if I don't listen to the guidance. And so many times, even when I fuck up and don't listen to the guidance, grace comes in and covers for me. And somehow, my mistake doesn't bite me in the ass. So if you are feeling frazzled, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling frustrated, alone, afraid, if you're grieving, connect to God. Another thing I want to point out is that it's the shells of the ego that create this veil that makes us feel separate from source. We are not separate from source. We are one with source. We are in source, and source is in us. So the only thing that is keeping us from experiencing the fullness of that connection is our ego, the layers of negativity that we built up. In Kabbalah, it's called klipot. And so you break these shells around you as you do the transformation, as you sacrifice your ego, as you transcend, and as you rise above. All right. Okay. What's next? What else do we need to be aware of and take advantage of this week? Ooh. I wonder if this was the one that I saw pass by. Oh my gosh, I actually got this card too. So in my own weekly reading, this is the sacral chakra. We are, make sure to work with that energy this week. Try to send orange clockwise vortexes, imagine those in your sort of lower abdomen area. You're going to want to activate your sacral chakra, and that is going to open up your psychic connection. It's going to open up your creativity, your inner vision. You might be offloading and healing shame and guilt, especially in regards to sex, or healing any kind of mindsets or belief systems around sex that aren't healthy, or that are creating shame for you. Shame is very toxic. So we want to embrace all of that. It's very holy, very powerful, very sacred. Okay. Use baths for magic and healing this week. The water element is associated with sacral chakra, water healing. Maybe even work with like teas with the water for specific uses. Like look up like maybe like, you know, different herbal remedies or magical uses of herbs that you can make teas with, and you can, you know, use the water. Water is a living substance with memory. It's highly programmable. So you can really like put your intention and blessing into water, and it will like take on that intention, right? Okay. Oh, yes. And then the other card that came attached to creativity was hostility. So don't catastrophize in your mind. Don't use your creativity. Don't let your ego get away with you, and let your imagination get away from you, and start like visualizing hostile confrontations in your mind with you and someone else. There is a lot of astrology going on right now that is like winding us up and making us feel very impulsive and very assertive and very aggressive and wanting to communicate all of it. I can't remember whether Mercury has gone into Mars or if Mars is in Gemini. I think Mars might be in Gemini, which is making it very like impulsive and like you want to like pop off and like tell somebody off or snap. I mean, a lot of us were like that tonight at work. We were just like like at each other's throats, at our customers' throats. This one lady came up to our work area at the end of the night, and we were like all trying to close down the restaurant, and it's just like these last two tables in there, and it's clear that like this is Sunday night, we're trying to like close the restaurant down. Everyone is gone but you. The chairs are getting put up, people are sweeping. This lady comes over to our work area and she's like, hey, I was gonna order, it wasn't to me, it was somebody else, but I was gonna order a coffee through you. And the girl was like, oh my gosh, we've already cleaned out all our coffee stuff tonight, and we've already thrown it out. And like the woman was like persistent. It's like, man, this is 11 fucking o'clock. And then you want me to like brew a whole pot of coffee for you to sit longer than you need to be sitting here in the first place? Like, get out. Hostility. So what is keeping you feeling like you're closed off from that divine source, from that support, is hostility, right? Over the last couple of weeks, we've been processing a lot of emotion, letting go of a lot of sadness. It's the stages of grief. So, you know, and they come in circles. So while maybe a lot of the sadness is gone and the sorrow has been offloaded, now you're getting feistier and you're feeling a little bit angry and hostile. So try to blow off that steam in a healthy way. Maybe journal. Make some art, go on a run, punch a punching bag, scream into a pillow, stab a potato. It's really satisfying. But yes, watch your hostility this week. Don't let it get ahead of you. Don't ruminate on it. Don't feed it. Don't entertain it in your mind. It's only going to snowball and make it worse. And once you start feeling and imagining things together, it becomes very magnetic, very attractive. So you don't want to start attracting things that are going to make you more hostile, right? So to review, we're going to be ego tripping. Watch out. Don't be triggered. Try to observe without judgment in a detached way. Go slow. Pause. Don't feel the need to react. And also be slow to react with others as well. Their egos might be being triggered, but also if you watch them in a detached, non-judgmental way, it might help you understand the situation better, especially if you can let go of the hostility, right? And it might just be for your own sake, for your own healing. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to let someone off the hook that's wronged you or whatever, but and you know, make excuses for them or pretend like it was okay. It's not, but this is more for your own sake, so that you don't have to carry around this poison and this toxicity and these unpleasant, awful feelings, right? You don't want to be in that state. All right. Connect to God. if you are feeling hostile, tell God all about it. King David had some real entertaining prayers to read. I mean, he was just like, dash my enemies' brains on the rocks. And blah. So if somebody's really grinding your gears, like, tell God all about it. In fact, this is pretty crazy, but at work, I pray for like my shifts all the time, right? And I pray over the restaurant, and I pray over my tables and over the sections. And it's so funny because everybody there, we all love each other so much. Everybody gets along. And it seems like if there's a person there that is just like not pleasant, and I don't want to say that like I don't like them, but like if they're not my favorite person to work with, it's so crazy. It's like pretty soon after I've kind of had it with them, I'm like over it, they find another job. It has happened multiple times in this, like in 2022 at one place that I worked. Multiple people that have been like, yeah, I don't care much to work with them. Like they make me feel hostile. And it's like they're not like contributing, and they're being like abrasive and like whatever. So talk to God about it, right? Let God know your feelings and ask for help. Remember, you have free will. So God, the angels, your spiritual support group, they can't help you unless you ask, right? So if you need to offload something, ask for God's help. Tell God about it, right? I mean, like, what have you got to lose? Maybe you're insane. Who cares? But it'll make you feel better, right? And who knows, maybe something will work out. Maybe the heavens will pull some strings for you if you ask. All right, you guys, I am exhausted. I am tired. One more review because I think I didn't leave it. Okay. Ego, watch your ego. Water healing this week. You're going to have enhanced imagination and enhanced psychic ability, but at the same time, you want to control that imagination, because your imagination is part of your manifesting machine. So you want to make sure that you're imagining positive things that make you feel good, right? Imagine the results you want. Do not imagine a hostile, like, conversation playing out in your mind that doesn't even exist. Do not catastrophize and like think, like dream up all kinds of like hostile prophecies in your mind, right? Connect to God instead. Tell God how you feel and pray for assistance and guidance. All right, you guys, also pay attention to your dreams. This is the astral realm is connected through the sacral. So pay attention to your dreams and what they might be telling you. You can look up the symbolism. I really like this website called dreammoods.com. It looks like this website was built like 1 million years ago by somebody's aunt's cousin. And it's like always under construction, but you can go through like the A through Z, like look up the symbols alphabetically, and they have like so many random ones that you wouldn't even believe. But that's always the place that I find that the interpretation of the symbol really nails it for me. And sometimes it's random as fuck, but it still works. All right, y'all, I'm tired. I am going to take a shower and have some dinner and go to bed and sleep really well tonight. All right. I will see you tomorrow, you guys. Ciao.